Good morning. It's Saturday, September 9th. And yesterday I was reading an article about the latest polls on the presidential race of 2024. Still a long way to go in this race, but the numbers were not very favorable for the current president. His approval rating was 45% in January, 41% in July, and now it's even lower at 39% according to this poll. And it said that more than 6 in 10 Americans disapprove of the job he's doing as president. And even Democrats who appear to be true Democrats are less impressed by Biden. His approval rating among his own party fell from 80% to 74% in July and August. And almost 70% of Democrats say they want somebody else to run for president. Well, I can understand wanting somebody else to run for president. I also want somebody else to run for president. But I don't see anybody on the horizon. And I certainly don't see any young talent on the horizon. So the situation is desperate for the Democrats. And Biden wants to run again, and he said he wants to run again. And I have to admit that he's not the greatest image on the stage, etc., etc., etc. But I don't think that he has done a bad job for this country. I don't think he has failed in a lot of places. And he's had some tough times. He's been dealing with a lot of tough things. COVID, events that have taken place in this country that he has handled well. So I don't know why so many people disapprove of him. But I think probably his age has a lot to do with that. Now, the surprising thing about these polls is that Nikki Haley has emerged as the leading contender in these polls against Biden. In fact, there are many out there who are saying that if you're looking for a place to put your GOP money, if you're a GOP donor, Nikki Haley seems like the best bet. So right now, Nikki Haley has emerged as the largest threat to Joe Biden's re-election campaign. She did very well at the presidential debate. And according to the polls that came out just recently, she poses the greatest risk to Biden. Now, I'm not a great believer in the polls because I don't really know that they get a true cross-section of the nation. But Haley has seen a boost in the polls that has been remarkable considering how Trump is so far ahead of the field and everything like that. So in these polls, she was leading Biden by 6 percentage points in a hypothetical matchup, right? She had 49% of the voters backing her, or participants in the poll backing her, as opposed to Biden's 43%. And when you look at President Trump, he's not really even in any of these situations. He didn't appear on the debate stage or anything. But he's at 47%. Only at 1 point ahead of Biden in that particular case, because Biden against Trump is 46%. And DeSantis is even with Biden. And DeSantis has fallen by the wayside in all of these polls now. And Vivek is a dead loser to Biden. So while we have a situation that bodes well for Haley, she's still not ahead of Trump. Trump is still way ahead of the field with respect to the Republicans who may have participated in the poll or may not have participated in the poll. Trump in the poll or may not have participated in the poll. Trump is still their man. However, the good news for Haley and the good news for this country is that there is a movement around to use the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which would definitely stop ex-President Trump from running in this presidential race. So let me tell you what Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, or an elector or president or vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who has previously taken an oath as a member of Congress, as an officer of the United States, or as a member of any state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may vote by a 2/3 vote of each house to remove such a disability. So that means that they could use the 14th Amendment to keep Trump from running, because he clearly was a participant in the insurrection. Even though he wasn't there physically, he was on the air and he made phone calls and he supported that group of insurrectionists. And it would take 2/3 of the House of Congress to let him run again. And I don't think, as close as this Congress is, that President Trump has a chance of getting 2/3 of them to let him run. The Republicans hold the House by 3 or 4 votes. So there's no way Trump could get a disability, as they call it, from the 14th Amendment if they need Congress to vote in his favor. So if they use it, if they can use the 14th Amendment, then Trump will be out of the race. And then Haley's chances would greatly improve, because clearly in the Republican debate, she was a front runner. She showed better talent than any of the other people that appeared on the stage. And many of those people who appeared on the stage didn't belong there in the first place. But they raised the money and they got people to put their names on some partition or something, so they got onto the debate. But if you really watch the debate, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. There were a bunch of personalities, so to speak. And then, of course, Vivek was ridiculous with his stance. He was a true Trumpite, standing out there and proclaiming. So in any event, things could look very good for Haley if she can knock off Trump some way, shape, or form, gather up enough momentum to knock off Trump. Because clearly right now she was the best debater. And we'll see what happens. And I know that's going to make one of my good friends very happy if Haley runs. I won't be happy if she runs, necessarily, because I think she's a turncoat. I thought she was very good as the ambassador to the United Nations, but I thought she said too many things in favor of Trump after he lost the election and up to this point. She is a Trumpite. Maybe not a true Trumpite at heart, but she is a Trumpite. So I leave you with those things, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.